Grab your headphones, listen up, you know you love it. Drop the facade. Like the Dark Knight detective, they've got some perspective. They're a pure crime-fighting collective. It's the Bat Pod.
Welcome to this episode of DC Currents. My name is Bill Beer, and joining me tonight, as always, John Coos.
Power #1 fan right here in the house.
Is that something?
She's not in any books that we're reading, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right. She got canceled.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? Tell us. How do you feel about this?
Well, when I was at the shop the other day, and the folks know to be on the lookout for any covers that she appears on, they said, "How do you feel about it that it's ending?" And I said, "I feel great. I feel just great." They need to give her a break and put her in a team book and reinvent her somehow again, because boy, the last 2 years have been rough. But moving on, that's comics, right? It's always refreshing.
Yes,
always
that's
refreshing.
for sure.
Yeah.
So as I said, it's DC Currents time. So tonight we're going to be discussing Titans number 20, JSA number 5, Green Lantern Corps number 1, and Justice League Unlimited number 4.
The Bat Pod is a spoiler podcast. Please read the comics we're reviewing so you can enjoy the show.
So we're going to head right into it. Titans. You got the cover, Bill. Put that up while I do the credits. This book's called Crime of Passion, sort of a Valentine's theme here. I think this book came out in February. Writer John Loverboy Layman, artist Pete Winsome Woods, letterer Wes Amorous Abbott, and editor Brittany Heartbreaker Holzer. So they got this little Titans in Love thing up here. Very cute. What'd you think of this cover?
It's an interesting cover. Now that you say that it's a Valentine's Day cover, it makes more sense.
As we will see
because
in the book, too.
For us, it came out in March, so but it makes more sense. It's okay. It's kind of goofy.
It is kind of goofy, but it's funny. I told you about the culling of the books and my comic book collection. I'm down to 10 long boxes of 25. I still have the other 15, so if anybody wants them, I'm still trying to figure out where to put them. But the reason I bring that up is I couldn't get rid of these romance books that I picked up. I love the ads in 60s and 70s books. Sometimes the stories are kind of rote. It's about teenage girls kind of like getting jilted by a boyfriend who's usually a jerk and all this stuff. But they always have word balloons on the cover or thoughts in the head. And I think this is an homage to these old romance books. Obviously you didn't pick up on that, but since I'm a big romance comic guy, but that's what they kind of do. Like, oh no, my half demon empath girlfriend is overwhelmed by emotion and I'm worried she's going bananas. That's very romance novel, Silver Age stuff. So props to them for sort of that homage. Good for them. So get into the story. So our story opens inside Titans Tower. Roy Harper is still pressing his case to the Titans leader Donna Troy that Raven is a danger to the team. Roy concluded that Raven's emotions are affecting others' emotions. One example he pointed out was a moment where Raven told a joke and everyone laughed hysterically. It wasn't even that good of a joke that was told like many times. While arguing about Raven, Roy and Donna suddenly kiss. Both commit to each other not to say anything about this romantic misstep to the rest of the team. Titans lovers everywhere know that Roy and Donna have a bit of history in the love department. We turn to a scene in New York Central Park where an actual Titans couple, Beast Boy and Raven, are strolling in the park. Raven is musing and kind of whining that she believes, like Roy, that her emotions are affecting those around her, that whatever she's feeling is what everyone else then feels. Beast Boy says Donna is going to elicit the help of Bumblebee, More on that later. And that he and the team will help her through this problem. They are about to kiss when suddenly an errant basketball hits her in the head. Beast Boy, whose emotions are out of control, then suddenly freaks out on the basketballers and he turns into a giant gorilla, looking to tear their arms off, limb from limb. Raven calms him down and tells him to turn into a quokka, a small and insanely cute marsupial from Australia. The park goers are all smitten with the cute vibe. Then Beast Boy and Raven start making out, but so does everyone else in the park. Maybe Roy is onto something with his theory. Donna Troy and the gang show up to the park, and then they all head to a secret Star Lab site to meet Bumblebee scientist Karen Beecher Duncan, but not before an average-looking Joe knocks out Roy and replaces him with an illusion. At Star Labs, Bumblebee claims excuse me, that when Raven's dark and light sides merged, it messed with her emotions. She wants to strap her into a chair and massage her brain. Bumblebee and not Roy Harper head to the control room to flip whatever switch that will massage Raven's brain. Excuse me. We quickly learn that the illusion is Psycho-Pirate, who has now knocked out Bumblebee, and we get a cliffhanger of him at the controls. Excuse me, coughing attack. Bill, what'd you think of this comic? Now knowing that it's a romance theme, it
makes sense.
Is it more fun or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I knew what was going on. I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it was Psycho-Pirate. But at the beginning, I thought, what is going? I mean, they've been at each other for a while here, but then we see this, it flashes back 10 minutes or whatever. But this was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun. You can see the emotions all over the place with different characters. I like this. I like this. This run has been pretty good so far. I've enjoyed it.
Me too. It flows really well, and the art's fun. The dialogue's great. The story's kind of funny. Like we talked about, like how did Clock King go from messing with them in the Titans Tower to strapping them all to machines and stuff. But like there, in terms of the story, it's like I wasn't super familiar with Bumblebee. So I looked her up, and it rekindled my memory that she was with Mal, who was sort of this Teen Titans sort of, I don't know, is he a
little
member?
bit from the Doom Patrol, I remember.
Yeah. But it was funny in the book. So I guess she's a scientist at Star Labs, right?
Yeah.
But she's got her lab coat over her Bumblebee outfit. Is that how she just rolls around?
That's a little weird. That seems a little uncomfortable, actually. A little warm.
Yeah. But she goes to work, not really trying to hide that she's Bumblebee, I guess, or wanting everyone to always know that she's Bumblebee, I guess, just to remind them, I suppose.
I guess kind of rub it in their face
while she's doing her science stuff. Yeah. I don't think there's any deep cuts I have or anything. It's just a fun flowing book,
So did you understand the reference with Mercy Hall?
Wasn't there a word bubble about it though? It goes back to a Batman lair or something, or
basically it references Volume 1 of Teen Titans Full Throttle.
Okay.
And it's the Titans written by Adam Glass. And Damian is on that team. So this is one of the new 52 ones. I don't recall this, so I was curious if you had a connection to that or not.
It happened during New 52.
That's my understanding.
I certainly read it, but yeah, it's all a blur.
Remember
I read everything.
It's like when Robin joined the team, not at the beginning of New 52, It actually, the trade it references is issue Teen Titans Special #1 and Teen Titans 20 through 24. So,
All right.
if those of you out there know the reference, I just didn't remember or get the reference, so I was curious if you did. Okay, I mean it did make a difference, and I know Cyborg he just called butt. He didn't care. He says, "I'm bored. Time to get out of here."
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm working on stuff.
We talked about that in the previous, I think in the last issue, that he's working on something, and now they're kind of dragging it out. Like at one point, is someone going to go, like, Master Detective Dick Grayson or Curious Roy Harper, or go, hey, what are you working on exactly? Because like there's all these hints. Don't bother me. I'm working. I'm out of here. I'm working on something. So we got it. John Layman, Cyborg is going to have a big reveal that he's working on something soon. I hope that comes up soon, because if they do it one more time, it's going to get old. That's my take on that.
I would think so. I would think, yeah. And of course, we get the reveal of the Psycho Pirate. I always like his little outfit there.
Yeah, me too.
So where you think this is going? You think how will the Titans be able to counteract, all these emotions and everything? Because they're failing miserably here.
I don't know where that's going. I'm going to guess we're going to see, a big confrontation with Deathstroke and his weird collection of co-stars, villains in the what are they calling themselves again? It's the crime syndicate.
Yeah, the crime syndicate. He couldn't come up with a new name. He had to take theirs. He said, "Oh, they're on Earth 3. They'll never know that we stole their name."
Oh, that clever Slade Wilson. But anyway, at least he didn't call him like Fearsome 5 or something. I mean, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I don't know where it's going. It feels like it's a long run kind of thing. Like he's going to have this book probably for a couple years, and he's kind of setting up the tone of everything. I could do without a lot of Raven emotion stuff. I mean, I can only take so much.
That's getting kind of. Let's clear that up.
Yeah,
clear that up pretty soon. They should end that.
They should end that.
Yeah, but in this issue, she said she was in love with Gar. So didn't that hit some of your heartstrings there?
Yeah, it did. We haven't really talked about how we feel about each of these, because other than we've kind of said which one we like the best, I think. And I've probably already tipped my hand. It's not like I don't like Raven. I just don't like stories centered on Raven. I'm not a big fan of. I've never been a big fan of Beast Boy. But it's not like I don't like him. But I can't say I do like him. I mean, and so when when the story's kind of centered around two characters, I could be like,
not your favorite,
whatever. It's kind of like, okay, now I got a double whammy of two of my least favorite Teen Titans or Titans. But again, I don't dislike them. I just don't want stories to be about them. I mean, that whole thing that we went through before we started doing this series. What the heck was that? Where he became a giant Starro,
yes,
and all that. What was that called? Beast War. Beast War. Was that
Beast World?
Beast World. I was like, oh my god, that's a lot of Beast Boy for me.
So I take it you won't be picking up if he gets his ongoing series. You will not be partaking.
I hope he doesn't. But I love myself Donna, Dick, and Roy, though. I really do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Moving on. That's a good issue. It's a good book. All right.
Okay, our next book's gonna be JSA #5. Your writer, Jeff Lemire. Artist Diego Orlategue. I know I probably got that
Good
wrong.
job. Good job.
Colors, Luis Guerrero. Letterer, Steve Wands. Group editor, Katie Kubert.
Yeah.
And we get a cover here. You have the Hawks in the background, little Green Lantern, little Wildcat, Flash, and Dr. Fate. What did you think of this cover? They're protecting the Tower of Fate.
It's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like a panel from the book, though, and I don't.
Yeah,
a
it
little
does.
bit, you know.
It does. It's okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
all right.
yeah. And we have a little, I forgot to mention Kid Eternity there. Who apparently has swords. She's a ghost with swords.
Did she have swords in the book? I don't
That I recall.
She didn't, but now she does.
Yes.
And apparently Wildcat's got a bat with nails in it. That's new too.
He went all Walking Dead there. You know?
God.
We know what he watches on television.
Jeez. All right. They were just, those items were inside the Tower of Fate. Whatever, it's fine. Jay looks a little weird. Like, he looks, I mean, we know he's old.
He does. He looks like he's getting ready to croak at any minute.
Yeah, he looks like he's 100. Well, he might be, but he looks like a 100-year-old person that we might meet in regular life.
You're missing the cane. Where is his cane? I mean, he looks so.
All right, enough of that.
Okay.
Go into the summary.
Okay. In the demon dimension, Hawkman gets help from the wandering ghost, who seems to think she's the new Kid Eternity. The ghost frees Hawkman, who heads off to find his wings, weapons, and armor. When the two encounter a trio of demons with Hawkman stuff, they find themselves outmatched. Thankfully, Kendra swoops in to save the day. The trio of Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and Kid Eternity head back to the Tower of Fate. On Earth, Beth, a.k.a. Dr. Midnight, finds herself at the mercy of a surprise punch by Scandal Savage. Beth finds a small pebble and uses a well-aimed throw to shatter the only lamp in the room, giving her the darkness she needs to overwhelm Scandal and escape with Obsidian's unconscious body. Meanwhile, the consciousness of Obsidian and Hakeem Thunder escape the hospital by busting through an outer wall. Unfortunately, they find the outside world to be nothing but a massive maze city. Elsewhere, the fake Obsidian, Johnny Sorrow in disguise, announces the JSA sensors have picked up Beth's communicator signal. He urges his teammates to take action now instead of waiting for the rest of the team or the permission from Jade. Wildcat and Jesse Quick agree, but Arab Man chooses to stay behind because Obsidian's rash decisions just don't feel right. And the issue ends with Sandman and Jade concluding they have a traitor in the mist, Grundy arriving in the demon dimension with a gentleman ghost to claim Hawkman, and an army of demons assembled to lay siege to the Tower of Fate. So we got issue number 5. How you feeling about this one?
I'm having a hard time putting into words. Sometimes I really like it, and sometimes I go, "What the heck?" Like, there's just. I'm not kidding you. I go back and forth, like, while reading the book. Like, do I like this, or do I really like this, or do I not like it very much? It generates very confusing emotions for me, to be honest with you.
I can understand that. Sometimes it seems like it's going forward and then it goes in reverse.
A little bit.
It's like this storyline here at the beginning with Kid Eternity. It skipped last issue. It wasn't in last issue at all.
Yeah.
And now we're back and we're continuing on with some other threads. It was nice to see Hawkgirl show up and save Hawkman there. I liked seeing her.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably spend a lot of time dissecting this whole book. I
Mhm.
mean, but let's spend a little time doing it. So we've talked in the past about these random and sometimes seemingly unconnected titles on the tops of the pages. Like, so right on
Yes.
page 1 it says outlaws. Like, who are the outlaws? I mean, it's Hawkman and in hell, and then Kid Eternity's a ghost.
Are they
Are
the
they?
outlaws in hell? Is that what
Yeah,
that
like what are
is?
the outlaws of? I mean, oh, they're rebelling against hell. I don't know. I do like some of the art that kind of captures Carter Hall pretty well. My idea of an angry kind of knee jerk, pissy Carter Hall. I kind of like that. I commented before that sometimes the cartoonishness doesn't work with the demons, but in this book, it kind of got my head around it. It's just kind of funny. Like, are they like in this whole hellscape sort of storyline? Are they going for comedy here more than they're going for scary?
It might be a little bit because they are pretty comical. I wouldn't say scary. The scariest one is the big demon, with the horns, the red horns. He's more scary than the others. The other three are kind of.
I don't get the travel. Like there's a couple things like Gentleman Ghost. I guess he's because he's a ghost, and maybe Solomon Grundy because he's undead. Because they can just show up in hell whenever they want. Like they just like
I guess that's how that works.
and then like when the battle kind of ends, or actually when they escape, they're like, "We're going back to the Tower of Fate." Like, are they just flying there?
Well, I think Wotan. Doesn't you see him open doorways?
No, I'm talking about the heroes.
Oh, the heroes. The hero.
They're
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
let's get back to the Tower of Fate. Is it like across the river of Styx or something? Is it just across the way?
Oh no.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how they're getting back. There's no magic user here.
No,
So,
there's not. There's no magic.
That's just like me and you saying, okay, we're in hell. How do we get out of here? How the hell do we get out of here?
Just fly away if you got wings. So and then I guess this title works, the Shadow Fighters, because you got the real Obsidian strapped to a chair, so he's a shadow fighter, and I guess Dr. Midnight's kind of a shadow fighter too because she sees in the dark. But I thought the graphics were pretty cool because I didn't go back and reference when Scandal knocked out Beth Chapel, but look at her face. Like, she is worked. Like, she's got two black eyes.
Yep.
She's messed up, but it's kind of gruesome. Blood is all over the place.
I thought at first she was picking up a tooth.
I thought she's stepping on her shoulder, or is that like she just
Almost like the back of her neck. It could be a tooth the way her face looks. You know what I'm saying?
So one of the things we talked about when we last covered this book is they've kind of shifted. At least I went on a big thing about trying to rationalize why this Beth Chapel Dr. Fate is suddenly a badass, like because he's just dodging bullets when before she sort of seemed like the nerdy TV version. Well, this one continues her badass behavior by taking a pebble and having the strength to throw it hard enough to bust the lights in the ceiling. I mean, can you imagine that? Sorry, I'm getting a little deep here, but did that surprise you that was the big? I was like, really? She just got beat up and she's throwing behind herself, and she breaks that fluorescent light or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fine. I mean, some of this book has a lot of that stuff. Like, you just got to read past it and just
thought it was cool. And
it's kind of like something you'd see in cartoons. Like, which is fine. It's comic books. But.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And then she whoops Scandal Savage there.
Yeah, she does. And then she gets what's Obsidian Todd, the real Todd, out and starts dragging.
Now, she's in some other country where it's snowing. It looks like a blizzard out because there's snow up to her knees. Where do you think she's going?
I don't know. It looks like the architecture of that castle or whatever that is.
Would you find a spare sled nearby or what? The kids go sled riding in.
That's what I'm talking about. And like, and I didn't even. Yeah, where are they, in Transylvania or someplace? Like,
I don't know. That's like a big castle.
It's very weird, and yeah, and we don't. I guess Johnny Thunder. What?
We don't know what happened to Obsidian and
Beth.
Keem Thunder.
It's the real.
They're like out of their bodies or something. Their minds are like trapped. But what did you think the first time you saw, the city, the Maze City? That looked pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. And it was like a 2-page spread, it looks like, or something. But
yeah.
No,
but it's 2 moons there.
I got to get my head around Obsidian's power set. It's because now are they, if they're in their heads, or this is not a real, this is like an alternate reality. I didn't know that he could shadow form his hand, grab a bunch of, bars on a prison cell, and then yank the whole thing off the wall. I didn't know he had that kind of powers. I just thought he could mess with people in the dark and stuff. And all right, well, it's pretty cool. And this whole scene, we're back to calling. Now we got the banner again, Infinity Inc. Okay, all right, whatever. I don't know, why are they doing that? Anyway,
I don't know.
But this whole scene,
this
whole scene was weird, coupled with the scene 3 pages later where Rick Tyler's doesn't go. Like, we know that there's some friction between Jesse Quick and him that we think goes back to the Absolute Power arc, where she thought he left her behind or whatever else. But like, it is kind of weird that we know this isn't Obsidian. We know this is who is this again?
Johnny Sorrow.
Johnny Sorrow. We know this is Johnny Sorrow, but Yolanda, like, unless there's mind control, maybe they're like, why would they let him conduct a meeting as if he's in charge?
Yeah, I don't know.
Very strange.
He might be forceful,
Yeah. Oh, well, he's good at that
because Jade isn't there.
Yeah, he's good like that. Johnny Sorrow. He can manipulate people. And Jade, speaking of Jade, now she does say something that in here that there's something off about everything, because but she's been kind of a terrible leader so far. I love Jade. I want to see great things for Jade. Put me in the Jade fan club, but she has been kind of weak right from the get-go. And I think we talked about
second guessing herself.
And why did she become leader in the first place? I can't remember even if we found that out.
No, we haven't. We haven't found that out.
But anyway, but then she kind of gets her mojo towards, something has been off. Maybe this is their out on why everybody's something has been off since my father and the others disappeared. We don't think we can trust those 3 anymore. And then she gets her eyes. Now we got pissed Jade.
Oh, that's a great panel.
It is a great panel.
Yeah.
It's a cool panel. Then you got this comical stuff with the Injustice Society roundtable. They're just sitting around. I mean, do they have snacks? What do they like? I mean, is there
like a hidden fridge, that looks like a rock that you just open up?
Yeah, I mean, they seem to have a lot of meetings, and I don't see any bottles of water on the table or
nothing.
Yeah, it's
kind of strange. Be dehydrated or something.
Dr. Alchemy, but it's a weird scene with these guys, but it's. I have to say I'm kind of getting it more than the first 3 issues where we were kind of going you're like you said, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, and all this. I'm just kind of letting it, accepting it for what it is, which is kind of silly and fun and just going with it. It's fine.
The guys in the Watchtower, the Fate's Tower,
Yeah.
they've been defending that for 5 issues. We haven't even seen them like for a few issues, it feels like. And we're 5 issues in, and I feel like this story has jumped all over the place, and it's moved at a snail's pace because we're 5 issues in, and yeah, they did have to go back and give us a flashback to see how this all started. It feels a little scatterbrained, this opening arc, and I hope once this opening arc finishes, we can get something that's a little bit more straightforward. The going back and forth kind of is hurting my brain at times. I mean, I've enjoyed what I read, and I enjoy these characters a lot. So I'm interested to see where it goes. And let's have the team together. What's the full team? They haven't even been together yet.
They haven't been in the same room once, I don't think, which is funny. Normally, I was going to mention this, like in JSA, the Johns. Well, originally, I guess it was James Robinson or David S. Goyer or whatever, but they always kind of start off the book with like, "Here we are. This is why we're here," and this, not this time. It's like, boom, chaos. Whatever. Well,
yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing a panel where Wildcat's using his new weapon.
Yeah, I didn't see that or the swords.
Yeah, it was very strange. But all right, moving on. We're gonna go hit up our. We were debating whether or not to do this book, but I was probably fighting it offline. We don't need to do Green Lantern Corps.
I think you were saying Green Lantern Corps. They suck.
I didn't say they suck.
You sure?
It's just a bunch of Green Lanterns.
Right. That's what you said. They all look the same. You can't even tell them apart.
They all do the same thing. There's too many from Earth, all that stuff. But how about what is there, 6 or 7 from Earth now? Anyway, but that's fine. But it's Jeremy Adams. And it's coming off the Green Lantern series, and we both read it, and we both go, I said, okay, let's do it, because it's great. It's great. So let's just let's go into the cover here. You got that up yet? Okay, you do have the cover. Yeah, let's talk about the cover before I get into
this. Is an awesome cover to me.
Yeah.
It's in the #1 cover. We got, the white background, which they've been doing on the all ends. But we got all the major players here. Guy Gardner. John Stewart. Hal Jordan isn't in here. He's going to be in his own book.
Right.
Jessica Cruz. Kel. And some of these other characters.
Well, Simon Boz.
Simon, yeah.
Who's the chick with the Devo glasses?
She's from that other Green Lantern series, the Green Lantern series that I didn't think was in continuity.
Oh. And
you didn't read, apparently.
I didn't read it.
I didn't read it either.
And this kid, is that his John Stewart's fallen?
No.
Who's that kid?
That kid was from the last Green Lantern story. She has this little backpack with like a power fist or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's a cool cover.
Kyle Rayner. I like his look, his original look.
Yeah. No, he looks cool.
No longer the White Lantern.
Which is good. Yeah, I like the OG Kyle Rayner. Girlfriend in a fridge, Kyle Rayner. That was Ron Mars. There's a couple cool podcasts where he's interviewed about the whole girlfriends in refrigerators stuff, and he's pretty honest about it. He kind of owns it. Like, we were kind of doing that kind of stuff, putting women in, and that that's if it wasn't for Ron Mars and Kyle Rayner and Major Force and that whole thing, we might not have Gail Simone, who who emerged out of that as a critic of it. You know that whole thing?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, she wrote this whole article called "Women in Girlfriends in Refrigerators" or something, and it got the attention of DC that they were kind of, the history of comics is damsels in distress, dropping Lois Lane off out of a window, and you always got to put these women in danger, and then you got, kind of thing, and that they're dispensable, that women are dispensable. So DC's like, okay, what should we do differently? And then she took over Birds of Prey after that.
Yeah.
And I thought the Chuck Dixon Birds of Prey was pretty great, but she crushed it on Birds of Prey. I'm glad I taught you something, or at least I refreshed your memory. I don't know, but look it up. Gail Simone, Girlfriends in Refrigerators. All right, moving on to this book. So we got a little catch up here, but before we do that, let me give some credits. Got this book is called Green Lantern Corps #1, New World Rising. Writers Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams. Pencils Fernando Passerin. Inks Eau Claire Albert. Colors Arif Prianto. Letters Dave Sharp, and editors Paul Kaminsky and Kathleen Wisniewski. So we got a little recap here. This is all coming out, as you said, from the Green Lantern ongoing. So in the aftermath of the Fractured Spectrum story, Nate Broom, aka the Sorrow Lantern, pulled off a heist, swiping an early version of the Book of Oa from Guy Gardner. This ancient tome holds the secrets to crafting a power battery, and Broom's got his sights set on building a sorrow battery to amplify his power. If he succeeds, the emotional spectrum will shatter forever, plunging the universe into chaos. The newly reformed Green Lantern Corps has got a new mission: stop the Sorrow Lantern before it's too late. So our book here is, we got this. So the infamous space villain Kanjar Rowe thought he could get away with hijacking a freighter and selling its passengers into slavery. But the Green Lanterns, led by John Stewart, were hot on his tail. They swooped in, putting an end to Rowe's nefarious plans. Later, John had a cryptic conversation with Joe Moline of Oa, hinting a deeper troubles beneath the surface. John's next assignment took him to Tamaran, where a massive spike in fear energy was detected. He assembled a team, including the recently reformed Sinestro, to contain the situation. Upon arrival, they found Queen Blackfire battling a gargantuan yellow construct of her god, Exal. Blackfire was hesitant to accept the help from Green Lanterns, given their tarnished reputation, but the construct's sheer power left her no choice. As John and the team worked to contain the construct, Sinestro tracked down the source of the fear, a Tamaranian woman named Vexaru, consumed by the terror that she's too unworthy of surviving Exal's prophesied return. Sinestro talked her down, showing her how to harness her will to overcome her fear. The construct dissipated, and Vexaru emerged as a promising Green Lantern candidate. Just like that, Bill, just like that. The team's next mission awaits. As John is tasked with helping Thanagar's shattered refugees, he's forced to work alongside with their ambassador, dun dun dun, Shiara Hall, aka a different hot girl, a woman with whom he shares a complicated past. The stage is set for a complex, high-stakes adventure that will test John's resolve and the Green Lantern's mettle. Yeah, man, I did a decent job, but you need the art to go along with that. I mean, the art is supremely good, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. It's incredible in this book. The big reveals, Sinestro standing there in the Green Lantern uniform.
Yeah.
Incredible.
They should have put him on the cover, but maybe they didn't want to spoil it.
I would assume so.
Yeah, this is his. I mean, I don't know what's continuity. It doesn't matter. Let's just say in my opinion, this is his third time being a Green Lantern. He had the original when he trained Hal Jordan and all that, and then became. But then in the New 52, the very beginning of the New 52, I think it was still Jeff Johns' run. He was Green Lantern for a while when Hal wasn't, and now he's Green Lantern again, which is all right.
Ever
Okay,
so briefly. It's gonna be ever so briefly.
you think so? Oh,
Yeah.
you know.
He can't. Yeah.
Fair enough. Bill, looking
But I
ahead
like
all
this
the
group.
time.
I like this group of lanterns. This is the beginning. You see John Stewart, and John Stewart may need some counseling or whatever. I mean,
Oh yeah, I
he still
didn't
has
cover all
his
that. His
yeah,
construct of his dead sister.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a little weird, but
yeah, but a little weird, a little touching. But doesn't somebody? I don't have the book open. Doesn't somebody make a comment to somebody else like, I don't know, or I just maybe have the way that there was art drawn like this is weird, you know.
yeah, that they're having a conversation back and forth, and it's just his construct.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know when. I mean, I don't want to get into it right now because it'll go down too many rabbit holes. I'm not a Green Lantern Corps expert or a Green Lantern expert generally, but I've read enough of it. But the first time I think I saw a sort of sentient construct, like where they, could have a conversation and stuff, was Larfleeze's constructs.
Mhm.
But I don't remember. Did the Green Lanterns created sort of an AI constructs before where they're just chatting with them, hanging around, being friends and stuff?
That I don't recall. I mean, I've
Okay.
read a lot of stuff, but I don't remember anything.
Because it'd be a pretty cool thing to have. I mean, if you're out in space for a long time and you're like bored,
There was a
patrolling
John
your
Stewart book.
yeah. Oh, Mosaic?
Yes. Do you remember Mosaic?
I remember it, but that was 35 years ago.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was really weird. It was a really weird book.
Yeah. I think it went for like 2 years. But yeah, it was a weird book, and I almost want to reread it because I don't know if I had the sensibilities at 20 years old or whatever to like be patient enough for it at the time. I just remember being confused a lot. I don't know, but are you referencing that?
Did that have constructs in it that
I don't remember.
he interacted with, or
I should look.
You know.
Yeah, you think they're going to They're going to bring it. They have a lot to pull from, right? Kilowog. Was he in here? He was in here a little bit. Was he? Yeah, but they could. I don't know how you feel about Nort. If he's used sparingly, I think
I love him.
He could be great. I like Jessica Cruz though. She was she in the Justice League for a while?
Yes, she was in the Justice League.
I liked her. She's got her own sort of edge to her that I kind of dig. I like her.
Yeah, because if you recall, she was one of the crime syndicate. She was the Ring.
Oh, she was the doppelganger. You mean Power Ring?
Power Ring, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That was cool. That's where she came from, huh? So she's from Earth 3?
I don't know what her backstory is.
Okay, anyway. But she was fair enough. But it'd be kind of cool. And you probably don't tell me if this is already happening 3 months from now from something you read online. It'd be kind of cool if Guy Gardner gets bonked in the head again or something. He's been depicted. I don't dislike it, but there's not a lot of edge to him in recent depictions. A little gung ho, but he's not, and I don't want to.
He's not the same.
I don't want to be a total jerk, like per se, like he was in JLI. I don't want to be like that, but he doesn't seem to have much of a bad boy streak of any kind these days. He seems almost like he's a mature superhero. And have you formed any opinions on this Guy Gardner over the last 10 years or whatever?
Yeah, I like the older Guy Gardner better. And I think the new Superman movie is using Guy Gardner from.
That trailer. There's a new trailer out. It's a longer one. I don't know if you've seen it. It came
Oh.
out. It's like 5 minutes long.
What I try to stay away from. I'll watch a teaser, but after the teaser, I try to stay away from trailers because I kind of want to see. I don't want the whole movie spoiled. So a lot of people will be watching all these. I will not be partaking, which is probably a surprise to you because you know
You like
I
to
like
spoil
those
things.
solicitations.
It
But
does surprise me
yeah,
a little bit. Yes.
yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, and good. Don't watch it then. You know why? I'm not going to tell you why exactly, but there's something in it that would have been really cool to see in the film. Like, and I'm almost concerned that they're showing more because I heard that there was some early screenings that were kind of and they've been reworking a little bit. But there's this extended thing in this 5-minute trailer where they go, that should have been saved for the movie. It was too much, too much story, like, because the first trailer, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole here on this thing, but we got DC fans here. The first trailer was, you couldn't tell which order the clips were really taken from.
Yes, you couldn't.
And you're like, well, because obviously in the first scene in the first trailer is where Superman's already messed up, and then Krypto comes along. Obviously, that's way later in the movie. But anyway, the Guy Gardner stuff. There's no new Guy Gardner stuff in the new trailer. It's not really. But Ben, every time I see that guy, I go, wow. That James Gunn has taken douchey Guy Gardner to a whole new level, which is kind of fun. He almost looks douchier than he did in JLI, but enough of that. So, any other observations on this book?
Well, I liked who showed up at the end.
The final panel.
Yeah,
which is a great final panel.
Yeah,
now,
She-Ra without wings.
Now, let me lean on your more recent reading because I have got about a 2016 to about a 2022 gap in my, except for the stuff you've made me read with Batman and stuff. I didn't read the Justice League team books and stuff like that during that era. So my question is the continuity of this Hawk Girl, meaning the Thanagar Hawk Girl, having hooked up and had a relationship with Jon Stewart, is that solely from Justice League Unlimited cartoons, or was that ever in the comics?
Justice League Unlimited cartoons, isn't it Kendra?
Okay, well, it is. So
yes.
now they're tweaking that, I guess.
I guess I don't know if there was a relationship previously. I know it was from the JLU cartoon, but I don't know if that went into comics. But
I guess now we can. I don't want to go down the whole thing. Maybe we can save it for the next time. But in this continuity of this DC universe, there seems to they're reigniting the confusion about the Thanagarian Hawkmen and people, like and sort of the Carter Hall anthropology.
We'll see. There was that Hawkman series from a few years ago, and they sort of stated that, Hawkman has been reincarnated, different people, and sometimes he was reincarnated into two different people in the same time. So they're saying
on different planets,
right? Well, they're saying that the Golden Age Hawkman, who was in the JSA, and the Carter Hall Hawkman from Thangar, who was in the Justice League of America at the same time in the 70s and 80s, that was the same Hawkman reincarnated, and that this She-Ra was reincarnated into Kendra.
I think
it's so confusing.
I know.
Personally like the Thangar, Hawkman, and Hawkwoman the best.
Hawkworld. So that Hawkworld series that came out of
I like that, But he was even before the Hawk World series. He was like the Hawkman of like the 70s and 80s. I guess it was late 60s when the series came out. And I like that version of Hawkman the best. The one that reincarnates, that's been in the Justice Society of America. I don't love that not that it's a bad version, but I like because the reincarnated stuff hurts my brain. I don't understand it. It doesn't seem. And then they tried to explain, well, he's every Hawkman he's ever been. He reincarnated, and now has the memories of everybody, and it's a little confusing.
Okay.
But I'm sure you can explain it for us.
No, I can't. It just gets complicated.
But I like seeing her at the end. That was a lot of fun.
I like seeing her too.
But see where it goes.
But I immediately confused. I didn't. I immediately related to the cartoon version of their. But then you
yeah.
Just,
I mean.
So now it's like, oh my God! It's like the cartoon version is where they had the relationship. In the comics, they didn't, or they did, or now we know that it did happen in sometime in the past, but not with Kendra, but not with Kendra, but with Shiera. Okay, fine, but we're
reading these books, and I don't have 100% back history and all this. It's not like
we should become friends with Mark Waid. That would be really cool, just to give him a call and ask him these questions once in a while, because he could probably tell us. And speaking of Mark Waid. Now we're going to cover Justice League Unlimited.
Oh, there we go.
That was a good transition, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You see what I did there? All right. So
I'm a little behind
Justice
with
League
covers.
Unlimited.
Justice League Unlimited number 4.
Yep.
And we get a cover here, and we got the big Inferno eyeball. And you have Batman carrying John Stewart, Martian Manhunter, and saying, emergency evacuation now.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cover a lot.
Okay.
Mostly because Dan Mora's art, but I like it.
I think it's cool, too. You got this sort of Sauron, Eye of Sauron thing going there. Mm-hmm. No, anyway. I mean, it's fine. It's Batman and Martian Manhunter, yeah, it's great. It's great art. I mean, I guess he's jumping. It's cool. It's cool. That's all right. All right, moving on. So
your writer is Mark Waid.
Yeah.
Artist, Dan Mora. Colors, Tamara Bonvillain. Letter, Ariana Meyer. And editor, Paul Comiskey. And we got a long one here, so buckle in. The raging fire caused by Inferno continues to expand across the Amazon rainforest. Mr. Terrific and Red Tornado assess the situation from the watchtower. And with Levi Kami incinerated, Swamp Thing, there's only one person that can help the Justice League. Teffy, daughter of Alec Holland, is visited by Mr. Terrific. Initially, Teffy refuses because she doesn't want anything to do with superheroes until she too is affected by the damage caused to the Green. And Mr. Terrific explains what's happening over at the Amazon. He teleports her to the Amazon, where the League is still trying to contain the fire and evacuate civilians. Once Terrific returns to the Watchtower, the League charges up Teffy with magic to protect her from the fire. The plan is to connect Teffy to the Green to speed up the forest's natural healing. Meanwhile, Batman has located the Martian Manhunter in Egypt, and even deducing what has been affecting him ever since their conflict with Amanda Waller. John distanced himself from his friends because without his telepathy, he felt he had lost control of his powers and would become a danger to the League. Batman tells John not to indulge in self-pity and to return to the League so they can solve this problem together. Dr. Colt, having tried to track down Inferno, is thrown back into the Amazon. Teffy takes Aquaman deep into the green so they can find Levi. She explains that Levi didn't die when his body burned to ash. Instead, he was sent back to the green so he could heal. But the damage to the Amazon is affecting the green to the point that it's releasing moisture in multiple directions. Using his hydrokinesis, Aquaman controls the moisture streams so that they can find Levi faster. They find a member of Inferno standing in their way, so Teffy summons the Parliament of Trees to attack him while Aquaman awakens Levi with his telepathy. When Levi is revitalized, the rainforest is saved. The mission is completed. The unidentified member of Inferno returns to his base of operations, where he is informed by other members of the Inferno that their plans continue undisclosed. In Airwave, the infiltrator remains hidden. So, we're 4 issues into the story. This story feels massive. It feels massive. Overall, I'm enjoying this, but there's bits and pieces. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I like the part with the Batman and the Martian Manhunter the best, but I really don't know. The rainforest thing on fire and the green. Are you a long-time Swamp Thing reader? Because I know that the green was a big part of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
I have what you would consider the hardcover, the Alan Moore omnibus, but I've yet to read it. All I know from Swamp Thing is when he really appears in other books, and so I just have enough grasp of him to, But
you have the green and the red.
Yeah,
from Animal Man, and the blue now, which apparently is the ocean, in the current Aquaman book.
It's funny. I mean, when you were saying, I think we both like the book, but out of the gate, this particular story has been a little confusing, or the villains aren't that interesting.
Well, I think with the villains, you bring up the villain there, and I think they kind of give it away a little bit here, because one of the guys said, he's talking to Aquaman, and he says, old enemy. So he knows who Aquaman is.
Okay.
But these characters are, their faces are covered, so you don't know who they are.
Is it Despero? Oh.
He says, Aquaman, my old enemy. What can you hope to accomplish here?
Well, I mean, this eye thing on their outfit, it kind of reminds me of Despero's third eye a little bit. I mean, you already know, so I'm not gonna don't say anything, but that's my best guess. But there's I think I've mentioned this before. I hate to sound like a broken record. There's great things about this book. Mark Waid's kind of creative use of obscure characters is truly unlimited. I dig it. I had to look this. You said her name was Teffy. It looks like it's Teffy. I had to look her up. It sounds like she's got a really weird origin story.
It's the daughter of Alec Holland, and I think it's volume 3 of Swamp Thing. She was Swamp Thing.
Well, she was, I guess, look, don't quote me on this, but this is what I gleaned from the interwebs, which was, he was missing for a while, and then the Green wanted to create a new Swamp Thing, and then he came back and said, no, stop, I'm still here. And then they're like, well, we've got this little sapling thing we're gonna sprout or whatever. He's like, I'll take it, I'll raise it. And then he and his wife were pregnant, and he fused it into the baby in the wife's womb. It almost sounds like a Vertigo book of sorts. It sounds
it's a Vertigo.
Yeah, kind of twisted and strange. And but so fine. All that being said, I liked Okay, Mark Wade's introducing somebody that I don't know who is, so I got to look her up. And okay, she's cool. She doesn't want to. I like how she's kind of like, I don't want to be in this Justice League.
Yeah.
She like rejects him straight out of hand, and then she's got this attitude, like he's like, I'm Mr. Terrific. Do I need to be a superhero to recognize that name? And then he hands her the Justice League, membership card, and the look on her face. So you mentioned Dan Mora, right? Like, if this was drawn by your average, sort of DC Comics, here, draw this book. We don't have any, some just rando person, right? Or an abstract artist or something. This book would be far weaker without this great art.
Oh, definitely.
Which I don't want to throw shade on Mark Waid at all, but like the art's really helping some of the other parts of the book that I get confused on, which is like the main villain, which I'm like, what is their goal? Take over the world? What is it? But all the parts that are great are the interpersonal communication stuff, and she's part of that, and she's drawn great, and there's some cool art scenes where like they're saving children. So I love there's this one scene where clearly is that Superman saving a boy and Flash saving a boy in different scenes, but
yes.
they're merged together, kind of like,
right.
I thought that was real.
It almost seems like the same kid, but
yeah, it's drawn like the same kid,
right.
but it's just a kid, and it's super cool. That was really cool, and I like seeing people working behind the scenes. I mean, Wallace West Flash is working on stuff, and Blue Beetle, Ted Cord's working on in the Watchtower. They're working together as a team, and then this whole thing. My first thought was on Batman, Bruce Wayne or Batman going to track down the John Jones. I'm like, is Batman really going to take the time out from this massive crisis to go do this? Well, yes, he is, because this guy is not just anybody. He's the Martian Manhunter, and that I thought that was cool. That Batman's like, we got it. I got to figure out what's going on with him. We got an literally unlimited number of heroes to deal with this. I'm going to go find Martian Manhunter. And I thought those 3 or 4 pages were really cool. Though, and I'll shut up here, Martian Manhunter kind of seems like a sad sack. Like I've never seen him before.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know what to do without his power, so.
Yeah. I thought he was more centered than that, but you don't find out, until stuff happens. Dr. Occult keeps getting messed up in this book and somehow surviving. I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Aquaman, creative use of Aquaman is always important in these team books, because sometimes he seems like a, quote, you ready for it? Fish out of water. But using the moisture of the green, it's like, isn't that always been a challenge with Aquaman in the Justice League? It's like, unless it's underwater, it's like, what are you doing here? Like, and they've even made jokes about it and like all kinds of satires and stuff. He's like, well, I'm super strong. Well, you're not as strong as Superman. Or like, what'd you think of that? Mark Waid's really pushing Aquaman, which is cool.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a cool interaction.
Yeah, it's cool. What else is cool in this book? I could do without a lot of Swamp Thing, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe I'm still recovering from the big reveal at the end of Brightest Day. I don't know if you're
still recovering. What year was that? 2008?
Maybe
2009?
Might have been 10, but anyway, let's not get into that right now. Anyway, and so yeah, I mean, we got the man on the inside. So you're saying the next book is the end of this arc. I hope you don't know whether or not Airwave betrays them.
No, I don't know anything about that.
You just know who.
It says Inferno revealed, so I'm assuming that they're revealed.
Okay.
And I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if they are who I think is coming, but
I thought you knew.
I don't know 100%. I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing. I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So, what character do you most want to see in Justice League Unlimited that Mark Waid will pull out of the, the archives of DC? I'm put you on the spot.
I want to see what happened to Booster Gold, actually.
Okay.
I mean, he hasn't even been in here at all, and
That's true.
Yeah.
And they made such a big deal in the what was that thing called? DC Spectacular, some one-off issue.
All in
number whatever.
Yep.
All in special.
Yep.
They spent a lot of time how proud he was that he was a bona fide super duper respected member, like more than any of them. And then so where is Booster Gold? I'm down with Booster Gold. I wanted you to do a deeper cut, and maybe I got Aquaman on my mind, but I liked myself some Dolphin.
Dolphin.
You know who she is?
I know I know of her.
She's got these like cut off jean shorts and a tank top, and she swims around. She was in the Peter David. Is that who wrote Aquaman in the 90s?
Yes.
She's great in that, and they kind of hook up and stuff. No, but it's like those are the kind of deep cuts that I think Mark Waid's going to continue to throw in here. It'll be cool. Like, anyway, maybe I'm partial to
Dolphin
girls in jean shorts, but
interesting.
Yeah, you know who she is?
Yeah, I know of her.
Okay.
I'm not going to say she's one of my favorite characters. I don't know too much.
Not my favorite characters or anything.
Right.
I dig her. But who else? Who hasn't been? Booster Gold would be cool, but that's kind of an obvious one.
I always like seeing Firestorm. I think he did show up.
He was in one of these already.
Yeah.
We're in the Jason. The Ronnie Raymond thing is over, right? Like is he dead or something?
I don't know.
We should ask somebody because we care.
Do we know somebody that knows anything about Firestorm?
Probably.
Yeah.
He went to the Kubert school. You know where you learn to play the video game Kubert. Remember
that? Right.
Right. Sorry, but anyway, I couldn't help myself. So, well, this is good. This is good fun. I hope it's less world ending in the next arc, because this is kind of had hints of world endingness. I thought that was a bit much for a first arc, but okay, maybe isn't that everything with Justice? Is everything?
Is this the end of an arc? Do you think this is the end, or the next issue is the end of arc?
I don't know. I don't know the normal convention. Is it 6 issues? Is it 12? Is it 8? Is it 10? Or could it be any of them? Like where they create a graphic novel and make it like a good chapter.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see Metamorpho, actually. Did we see him early? I don't think so.
Metamorpho would be cool. I want to see Power Girl. I'd rather see her. I'd rather have her in here than in JSA until they get their act together. Or Stargirl.
Stargirl.
She was in here a little bit.
She was in this issue, actually.
I'm gonna lobby for like a JSA All Stars. Do you remember JSA All Stars?
Yep.
They could, if they can sort of carve out like everybody that's been associated with the JSA that's currently not in the JSA book, with like Power Girl and Stargirl as sort of a special ops team or something. That'd be cool.
Okay, I know who I want to see show up. It's a team. I want this team. Here it is. Here's the big reveal.
Doom. Oh, Legion.
The Legion of Substitute Superheroes.
Yeah,
You ever read that issue?
I never read that issue, but I know who they are.
It's Keith Giffen.
They're the ones who couldn't make the team, right?
Right. I would love to see those.
They're from the future, though, right?
If you like the Bahaha League, you really should read that particular issue.
Is that pretty old?
Yeah, it's from 1985.
Oh, I'm going to definitely read that. I've never read that.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be cool if he pulled them out of the future, I guess.
Yes. I don't know.
The 31st
Probably.
century now.
Yeah. And the one guy is Stone Boy. He's my favorite.
Stone Boy. He just turns to stone and stands there.
He's turned to stone. He doesn't unturn. He's just stone.
Do they bring him
and they
places?
sort of just launch him out, and he right.
Okay, I have to read. I have to read it.
Yes.
I have to read it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'll put some thought into it.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was fun. Those were some pretty good books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our DC Current episode. I see you're holding up the Los Angeles Angels.
We don't call them
Anaheim.
We don't call
Angels.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
As of this
Angels.
recording, they're 6-3.
6-3. That's
Pretty good.
pretty decent.
They've won all their series so far. I went twice over the weekend. Thank you. very
Oh,
much.
awesome.
Trout's hitting home runs again, which is good.
Dang, isn't that guy old? How old
Like,
is he?
You're old. I'm old. He's like 33 or something.
Oh,
I guess that's old for baseball.
only 33.
Something like that.
Interesting. Not like we got the hockey player in DC who just broke the record.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. How old is that guy's like in his 40s, I believe.
How old is Mike Trout? I'm asking the Google.
Yeah, I don't know.
33 years old.
33. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's got some years
Okay.
left in him if he can stay healthy. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll talk about that on the Angels Orioles podcast that we do.
No. Are we starting that up soon? I
Yeah.
guess I have to start. Well, see, the problem with, I know we're going on a tangent, is to see the Orioles or the Nationals, you can only see it on their network, and their network is only available through Comcast or DirecTV. And that's it.
Nope, not true.
That's
You could subscribe to the MLB network and then trick
Oh, here we go.
by using a VPN and tell it that you're actually sitting
You
in
just-
New York.
You just went over my head there, so.
Okay, fine, fair enough. All right, well,
So we'll be back here. Our next episode will be a little Gotham Currents. We'll head back to Gotham City.
yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait till you read the final
Yep.
issue of the arc for Absolute Batman. It was my favorite issue. It's incredible. That should be coming out maybe next week. It's going to blow you away. It blew me away.
Not tomorrow.
There's
then.
about 4 things.
I mean, not Wednesday.
Oh, this week. This week. It might be Wednesday. That's what I
Okay.
meant. So some good stuff. So
Cool.
okay. So thank everybody for getting caught up on DC Currents, and we will see you later.
Laters.